All right, this is John for this week's Under the Hood with your host, John, JMC Garage. All right, here we go. 5 Nissan Armada, as you can tell, 2025 Nissan Armada with the brand new 3.5 liter twin turbo, over 400 horsepower V6. Let's look underneath the hood. This thing, I have to admit, is kind of amazing. Look at that. I mean, it absolutely looks amazing under here. From what I can tell, it's hard to tell, it's running right now. This actually has an external water pump. Thank you, Nissan, for an external water pump. Beautiful engine, runs smooth. It has twin turbos. You got one turbo over here, and then you got another turbo over on this side. Air-to-air intercoolers. All right, John for JMC Garage, back at the home base, as you can tell. And the reason why I'm back here is the video that you just saw. The reason why it was cut so short was I was interrupted by a salesman who did not know what I was doing. So I just cut the video. I continued, as you can tell by, this past weekend, I continued filming the rest of the vehicle and all that I was able to get. But I wanted to share a little bit of light about the under the hood of the Armada, of the QX80 for this new generation. Obviously, this engine is derived from the twin turbo V6 that you find in the GTR, which is pretty amazing. So they ripped that engine out of the GTR and they put it underneath the hood of the Armada. They put it underneath the hood of the QX80, of course, detuned to the 425 horsepower, over 500 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty amazing. So I wanted to bring that to you. But let me bring you some other things that I've seen in the pictures of this engine up close and personal. As I flip my camera around, again, some things I wasn't able to notice. Again, we see right here in this picture an actual replaceable exposed water pump. Thank you so much, Nissan, for keeping that, or for implementing that on this particular engine, which is absolutely amazing. As you can see, this is the engine out of that particular vehicle. You can see the upfront single throttle body going into the composite intake. Let me get you another shot here of this engine. This is kind of the side shot. This is the passenger side of the engine. We can see the turbo mounted directly to the head. Again, it's going to be the same repeat on the other side. It has an electronic wastegate. Totally fine with electronic wastegate, so long as they're implemented correctly. And this one looks like it is. You can see the plastic valve cover. We saw from the other shot, it has dual variable valve timing. It looks like it uses an actual electronic actuator for the intake variable valve timing, and then the exhaust variable valve timing is actually a oil controlled with a solenoid. It's more traditional. Again, this is the passenger side turbo. Turbo seems to be of a decent size. The exhaust manifolds are cast directly into the head, and then the turbo mounts onto the head via the cast-in head exhaust manifolds. Plastic valve cover, of course. You can see the coils on top. We kind of saw that in my under the hood shot. You can see the plastic intake. I would say the only downside to this engine, and I will show you in another shot here. This is a cool shot of this engine. The only downside that I see to this engine is the fact that it is direct injected only. These are direct injectors underneath the plastic intake. You can see they spray fuel right into the cylinder right here. It uses direct acting mechanical buckets for the intake and exhaust. So there's no roller rockers or lifters. The valve spring or the cam is riding right on top of the valve spring via a direct acting mechanical bucket. Nissan's been known to use that, and they actually work out pretty well. As you can see, this is the back side of the engine. You can see the direct injectors right here, spraying right into the cylinder right here, the valves and everything. You see the back side of the turbos as well. It's an all-aluminum construction engine. Again, a very stout engine. I mean, here's the thing. This engine's been proven time and time again to make tremendous amount of power and it still stay reliable in the GTR. Again, the only downside I see, it's not it's not dual injection, it's not direct and port injection, so there may be carbon buildup down the road for the intake valves. It's kind of hard to tell without some miles on these, but I don't know if the GTR is direct injected only, but those are some of the insights of this engine. Here's another shot of the engine. If I open this up in a different tab, I can get a better shot. As you can tell, this is what we were looking at when I was underneath the hood. As you can tell, some of the piping and routing. Because of what Nissan does, they actually they bring everything in and they split it off of one air filter. They kind of do the EcoBoost approach. They split off of one air filter, and then one track goes into one turbo, and then the other air track goes in the other turbo. And then as it comes out of this turbo, sinks around, it combines with this turbo, and everything gets pushed into one air-to-air intercooler, and then it comes out of that air-to-air intercooler, and actually, sorry, it goes up from here and goes into the center mount of the intake. So again, this engine is very, very similar to the 3.5 EcoBoost found underneath the hood of the new Expedition, found underneath the hood of the F-150. Very, very similar design to the new to the EcoBoost. Outside, the 3.5 EcoBoost uses direct and port injection, whereas this only uses direct injection. This reminds me of the first gen EcoBoost, with everything that it has. But I would say this engine is going to be better than the Toyota 3.5 twin turbo. Again, the engine designation is called the VR35DDTT. DD stands for direct injection or direct injection, and TT stands for twin turbo. Awesome. So that is the engine in a nutshell. If we want to look at a few more things, let's go over here. Again, we saw the engine. Basically, it is a V6, 213 cubic inches, almost 3.5 liters. It is a under square engine, whereas the stroke is longer than the bore. So it does have a longer stroke and a smaller bore for the piston size. You can see the firing order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, traditional V6 firing order. And then some other stuff. Compression ratio is 10.5 to 1. So anyway, some different things right there. You can see how the cylinders are numbered. They alternate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in firing order. So, yeah. So there we go. From what I can tell, I do not see that this engine uses a cooled EGR. It may have an EGR system, but I did not see a cooled EGR on this particular engine. So that's a nice thing that this engine doesn't use a cooled EGR system. I may be wrong in that. Let's open up this image and then we'll kind of close out this video of the under hood series. So again, charge air cooler, you see that. Again, it's an air-to-air intercooler. We have, from what I can tell, this kind of gives the routing and the piping of everything. But from what I can tell, from what it looks like, this does not use a cooled EGR system. So it does use kind of like converter. One of the nice things about this engine, it doesn't use a gasoline particulate filter. Thank you, Nissan, for that. We don't need gasoline particulate filters. And I'm very happy about that. So anyway, overview of the VR35DDTT found in the new Armada, found in the new QX80. Again, under hood series. Love bringing this content to you. Stay tuned as I bring in some more content next week. Drop a surprising engine found in the Ranger and Bronco base engine. You guys want to stay tuned for that. Awesome. You guys be blessed. We'll catch you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification. I upload videos every single weekend, every single Saturday, and possibly some more videos coming for the midweek drop on this new Under the Hood series with John. All right. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.